Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and we have more and more questions and fewer answers. You see, for over 2 years, we've heard nothing but Trump colluded with Russia. CNN, MSNBC, even high ranking Democrats, it's their only talking point that there's obvious collusion. We had Schiff, even after the Mueller report, there is plenty of evidence in plain sight, despite Mueller saying there's none. But now we have a high ranking Democrat senator meeting with the Iranian foreign minister Javad Zarif while we are really in a tense situation with Iran. You see, under Barack Obama, the solution to Iran sponsoring terrorism was to send them billions of dollars, to bow to their leaders, to basically tell them, we're not going to stop you from doing anything. Under President Trump, the solution is to send our boys in, to send terrorists running, to stop the payments, and to tell Iran, we're not going to let you sponsor terrorism that will ultimately cost American lives anymore. Yet we have Senator Dianne Feinstein meeting with Javad Zarif, hosting him for dinner. Now imagine, for just a moment, if Senator Ted Cruz hosted anyone from the Russian government, including Putin himself, during a tense standoff with President Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin. How quickly would people be crying out for Cruz to be put in Guantanamo Bay? For that matter, how quickly would every Republican be told they should be arrested? In fact, we already have people saying that, like Joy Behar saying anyone who supports Donald Trump should go to jail. But we have Dianne Feinstein having dinner with Javad Zarif while Iran is basically threatening us with war. We have military personnel in that theater who are now in greater danger than they already were because of Senator Dianne Feinstein. We have the former Secretary of State, John Kerry, who has, for over 2 years, met with foreign officials. Anytime anyone brings up the Logan Act, you're a conspiracy nut, or you're a bigot, or you're a Nazi, for even suggesting that John Kerry, who is not a government official, should not present himself as an official of the government. This is unforgivable in my mind. I mean, it's honestly, it should be something that the Senate Ethics Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee should immediately respond to with, we're removing you from all committees and we are going to investigate why you're meeting with foreign leaders who we are not friendly with right now. And the Attorney General should be looking at her for sedition and violation of the Logan Act. Honestly, I'm not sure if it would even take a matter of 2 or 3 days for a Republican to be in Guantanamo, convicted and sentenced to life, were the parties reversed. But Dianne Feinstein can have a driver who is actually a person very closely tied to China and Chinese intelligence for years. She can have dinner with Javad Zarif and no one says boo. And honestly, I'm not going to be surprised when CNN, MSNBC, or someone says she's just meeting with him, as government officials are allowed to try to de escalate the situation. Honestly, we could have video with very clear recording of her voice telling him that she will remove all opposition and ensure Iran gets their money. And CNN would excuse it. We've had a double standard in the media and in enforcement of our laws and so much more for decades. I can remember government officials all but laughing about little things throughout many different administrations. And none of them seem to care that the people are waking up to their hypocrisy. I mean, we get the news harping on how Kamala Harris is going to help minority women because Kamala Harris spreads lies about doctors hating people of color when that's not true. We get The media peddling lies about Russian collusion and helping our enemies, while Dianne Feinstein invites one of them to dinner. And we hear nothing about it except from, well, center to other center and conservative news organizations that honestly are drowned out by the screaming from the far left. Even Fox News is infested because, of course, we have very high ranking Democrats who've moved over there. You really just have Tucker, Hannity, Levin, and Judge Jeanine, and Laura Ingraham, and all of them are editorial, opinion programs. Honestly, it needs to stop. It just does. The Attorney General should act on this, and he should subpoena Dianne Feinstein and ask her, why are you meeting with someone from a government we are very hostile toward without any information to anyone else? And make her explain on the record publicly why she invited the foreign minister from Iran, while Iran is threatening us with war, to dinner. Now, of course, Democrats and other liberals are going to say she's trying to de escalate the situation. She's trying to negotiate. Well, here's the thing. According to the United States Constitution, a document regularly ignored and bypassed and flouted by Senate, House, and other liberals, you see, the president is to negotiate treaties. The Senate, yes, must ratify or reject them, but they don't negotiate. They don't make treaties. This is something that has been a sticking point for many people for several years. Treaties, where, for example, Barack Obama just signed the Paris Accords. Never went to the Senate for ratification. He just signed it. But when Donald Trump rightly ended our allegiance to that because it was never ratified by the Senate, suddenly the Senate said, no, that's our job. Well, you didn't do your job. And now you will get a chance to if a treaty is sent to you. But now with Iran, who the Democrats want to keep paying off, is no longer getting paid off, Democrats are sending their members of the Senate to negotiate, to talk, to honestly very dangerous countries. And I honestly don't know what will come of it. I would like to see her at least censured for overstepping her authority as a senator, but we all know it won't happen because, of course, Schumer will be all over the news circuit crying about the blatant political bias and demanding that she be apologized to for even looking at her activities. It's the same ploy used by liberals everywhere. You see, AOC, within a month of her taking office, introduced her Green New Deal, which, of course, told us beef is off the menu. But when she then goes out to a swanky restaurant where the person she's with is eating a nice, big, juicy hamburger, it's not that, well, that we haven't passed the law yet, and of course we have it, why waste it? It's no, how dare you follow me? It's the Democrat mantra and always has been. I will do what I want. You will praise me. You are not allowed to even look at me. And, I mean, thankfully we do have people waking up, but we have others trying to bypass everything. And this is going to be a very tenuous and dangerous and honestly exciting couple of years. I just really hope it doesn't get to what I thought it would or what I think it could, that being the total and complete dissolution of the country. Because, of course, Democrats will demand that people be nuked. Look to the Hunger Games. Imagine if in 2020 a Democrat wins the White House, even if Republicans take the House and Senate. Imagine then if a state like Texas says, I'm sorry, we see rampant voter fraud. We see this as an illegitimate election. We see our laws being flouted, our Constitution being shredded. We are seceding from the country. Liken that to Hunger Games and how fast you will see people demand that Texas be brought to heel. I honestly don't know where it's going to stop and when, but I really hope it doesn't end badly. But I've talked long enough. Let me know what you think. As always, keep the comments civil. We don't learn from argument, we learn from debate. As well, please remember to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Till next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.